Gentle surf and easy ocean breezes combine to make Carlsbad, California the quintessential Southern California beach town. But every April it turns into a race course like no other as it welcomes thousands of runners to the world's fastest 5K. This is the Carlsbad 5000. Hi everybody, I'm Tony Rivas along with Matt Turnbull, Elite Athlete Coordinator for the Competitor Group, the matchmaker for today's field. And Matt, 31st running of Carlsbad, really an ideal day. The sun has kept under cover, which has lessened the wind. We have 1 minute left before the start of the Elite Women's race. We've had 16 world records in this event, 8 U.S. records. Both current world bests have been run here. We got the world record holder on the line. How's the field stack up?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. It should be a good race. As you say, the weather has cooperated. All eyes will be on Meseret because she's the star attraction, but there's certainly 3 or 4 girls in there capable of pushing us. So we know Viella Legat's going to take it out at a decent pace for us. So as you say, the Carlsbad weather is cooperating, so we'll see where we go.
Meseret Defar has won 3 Carlsbad titles. She set the world record back in 2006, hasn't been back since 2010. She missed all of last year, giving birth to her daughter Gabriella. And now she is back. She ran the World Championships indoors in Portland. The start's moment away.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we are away. Viella Legat, a Kenyan out of Florida State, the sister of the great Bernard Legat, is going to be the pacer. How fast is she asked to go?
She wants to do the first K in around 3 minutes, the second K in 2:55, and then the plan would be Meseret to push from there. She's certainly doing the job there. She's gapped Meseret by about 10 meters, but she's doing the job she's been asked to do.
As you said, the first K, as we make our first turnaround on this brand new course at Christensen Way, 3 minutes per kilometer is 4:50 for the first mile. That's the pace. Last year, the first mile fell in 4:51. In 2014, it fell in 4:44. So just a tad conservative, because it all comes down to how much running do you have in the final mile.
Exactly, and that's what we've seen over the last few years. It's been a bit of a laboured start. Both men and women have gone through the mile and fairly conservatively, and as we saw last year, Genzebi closed very, very fast, and I think that's probably Meseret's plan this time, to take it out at a good pace and then see what she can do over the closing stages.
Just so you know, Viella Legat's got a 5,000 meter track PR of 15:35. She's run 16 minutes on the road, has that beautiful Legat form, but the race is really behind her, behind Meseret Defar, now 32 years of age. Caroline Kipkarui, 21 from Kenya, the wild card in the event.
Yeah, absolutely. She's had a good cross-country season back home in Kenya. She's moved over to the US and be looking to do a few road races over the next few months, starting with this one here. She is the unknown quantity. I know she wants to run fast, and she's shown she's in good shape so far this year on the cross-country circuit.
Also right in there in the pack, Jen Rhines, the master representing the Boston Athletic Association, a 3-time Olympian at all the distances, 5,000, 10,000, and the marathon. She's run 14:54 as a PR on the track and 15:21 on the roads. That was run here in Carlsbad in 2007. She has her eye on the 15:48 world best Masters time for 5K on the road, set by Colleen DeRook. And just so you know, John Ledger, the CEO of T-Mobile, has set a number of time bonuses for these elite athletes, for the Americans. Top 3 American finishers, also an American overall record, and also the World Masters record as well.
Yeah, it's a fantastic offer from John. He did a similar thing for us last year. The athletes really appreciate it. It gives them the extra incentive to run quick and better themselves. And John offering financial rewards to do so is a wonderful gesture, and long may that continue.
2:53, I got at the 1K. So, as always, he wanted 3 minutes, got 2:53. That's the nature of racing. A little bit of a tailwind on this long stretch in the course. And once again, for the second time in 2 years, the course has been re-engineered in order to try to bring more crowd participation, and also to make it a little bit quicker, because we used to go in the opposite direction in the second mile, heading north on the ocean side, and now we're heading south which is the tailwind.
Absolutely. This Carlsbad is famous for being a fast course. We were the same for 29 years, and obviously last year we changed it with the ambition of making it that little bit quicker. It didn't quite figure out, so we took some advice from some of the athletes here last year, and we've changed things around a little bit, and we hope this is going to help. As you say, they've got a tailwind right now, but when they make this turn where we've just stopped for the athletes to catch up, they will face a little bit of a headwind. So this next couple of K is going to be crucial to the timing of the race, I think.
Now, Meseret Defar, age 32, first came here to Carlsbad when she was an 18-year-old and finished in 11th place. Carlsbad has been almost a second home. She was great friends with your predecessor, Mike Long, and now you guys know her well from not just races in Europe and in America, but back home, her husband Teddy. It's a very close-knit family here in the running world, and Carlsbad is very close to the heart of Meseret.
Absolutely. She, as you say, she was very close to Mike Long, as were many of the athletes, not just from Ethiopia and Kenya, but all over the world. He was a very sudden and sad loss, but we've maintained world-class running since his passing in 2008, and I know it was difficult for the likes of Meseret to come here after Mike had passed, but she's back, and she loves to race here. It's a race which is very close to her heart, and she wants to come here and perform.
4:45, 4:49, 4:50. 4:51, so right on pace with last year when Ginzebi Dababa from Ethiopia, one just fabulous year she's had and is having again in 2016. Ginzebi came here going after Meseret's world record on the roads at 5K, ended up 2 seconds short, but I think that record is pretty safe right now because it's so outstanding in the men's race as well. But now that chase pack is tightened up a little bit on Viola Lagat, our pacer. Meseret Defar in second place. As they get Susan Kijken in third place from the Netherlands. She was top 5 here last year. Knows Carlsbad well. She was the bronze medalist at last year's European Championships at 5,000 meters, and an ex-Florida State runner herself. So she knows what she's doing, and she's a heavyweight.
Yeah, absolutely. She trains with Nick Bedaux's group out of the Melbourne Track Club down in Australia. They've just come over here for some training up in Mount Laguna here in San Diego County. I know she's in good shape. I was speaking to her coach just last week, and he said she'll go well. She certainly looks good there in second place. And then in third, we've nipped is Caroline Kipkurui, or Chepko, which I think she wants to be known by. And then just behind her, we have another European, and Sarah Lati, who's fresh from the indoors in Portland, and the tall figure of Diane Nkuri from Burundi, who's been over here in the States for a few years now.
Exactly, and she is the Burundi national record holder, everything from 1,500 meters to the marathon, and a wonderful personality as well. But now a slight gap with Meseret Defar in the lead. The world record holder, Susan Kijken from the Netherlands. Kipkurui, Caroline, the young Kenya. She's got a track PR of 15:24, but talking earlier saying that's deceptive.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that was set at altitude as well. She's a young athlete, and I know her manager, Brendan Riley, has got high hopes for her. He's brought her over here to the US to concentrate on the roads for this part of the season, starting here in Carlsbad. So she's the unknown quantity, as we said earlier on. She looks very comfortable there in third. As we enter the start line again, where all the crowds are.
7 minutes on the clock. This new layout will have 3 180-degree turns, and then a final right-hand turn down Carlsbad Village Drive. And once again, the crowd really pumps these runners up, but then they have to be very strong psychologically at the ends of the course with the crowds narrow and thin. But someone like Meseret Defar is such an international veteran. She's seen it all. She's been through it all. She missed a year of racing, giving birth to her daughter Gabriella, but when she came back this year in her first race in a long break after that long layoff, she ran 8:30 for 3,000 meters indoors at the Boston Indoor Grand Prix, which is a very fast time. And then she went up against Ginzebi Dababa in Portland at the World Indoor Championships, and Ginzebi walked away from her fairly handily.
Yeah, that's right. She obviously targeted the indoors, and I spoke to the back end of last year, and Carlsbad was also on the map for her. So she's been training and racing with certain goals in mind, this being one of them. So she wants to come here, run fast. She knows it's an important year. Obviously, she'll be in Rio defending her 5,000 title, which she won in London. It looks as though she's just put the hammer down a little bit as she started to gap Caroline Kipkurui, and Susan just trailing back off in third at the moment.
You know, we saw this last year with Ginzebi Dababa They made a couple of the turns, and then she's got to get the bit in her teeth. And she said, all right, time to press, time to go. Coming under the Carlsbad sign, the athletes many times back time their race. They know they're shooting for a time, 14:46 to 15 minutes flat. So now they've been out just about a little more than halfway. They know how to expend that energy, and now she's going to go flat out all the way to the line.
Yeah, I think so. It's the second time around now, and she looks a lot more comfortable than she did on the first lap. Actually, she's opened her stride a little bit, and she looks comfortable.
So she's on a very solid pace. Once again, very even. 2:53, then 6, and then 9:02. So that was a 3:02 kilometer.
Yeah, she's looking over her shoulder to see if anyone's come with her, and as we keep going back to Caroline, she's the one who's actually being pulled along by Meseret. She's also working a little bit harder now as Meseret actually looks more comfortable as the race goes on.
Well, we just look at the arm carriage. Look at Meseret is down in drive position. There's 2 miles at 9:40. Little look over the shoulder from Meseret, and look how the arm carriage of Caroline, age 21, a little bit higher, not nearly as much drive, and it's your arms which drive your legs.
Certainly, Meseret looks far more efficient. As you say, she's been here before. She knows what it takes. Carlsbad, although it's seen as the fastest 5K in the world, it's a tough course. We're right on the ocean, so we get those breezes, and the athletes will have the wind on their backs at the moment, but they know they've got a tough last K or so when they turn again, and they'll have the wind in the face.
It was a 4:51 opening mile, a 4:49 second mile. So again, very even. And that's the best way to run these races, is evenly as possible. And again, Meseret looking at her watch one time, and then Caroline follows suit. Susan Kaiken from the Netherlands in third. Lottie and Burundi's Diane Nakuri back in fourth and fifth, shoulder to shoulder. And once Caroline Kipkarui has now closed that gap just a little bit. What do you make of that, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I thought she was going to get away from her, but as you say, she's closed. She's just sitting on the shoulder of Meseret and maybe sheltering from that wind we just talked about as well. So, although Meseret does look the more comfortable of the 2 athletes, Caroline is unknown, and we don't know if she's got a sprint finish or not. But right now, it looks as though it's down to these 2 athletes.
And at some point, an extension, being the chaser, does play to the advantage, because the person behind can judge how easily or more difficult the person in front is running, whereas the person in front cannot gauge the person behind.
That's correct, but we all know Meseret's one of the best closers in the game. She's been around a long time. She knows what she's going to have to do to win it. Maybe she's a little bit surprised. She's still got company at this stage of the race, but she's looking strong. She looks good. Caroline is working a little bit harder, but also looks comfortable in the face. So let's see what's going to happen as they've just turned into the wind now.
It's 11 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock. The world record set back in 2006 by Meseret Defar, 4K 11:56. 12:02.
12:02.
Back to the finish!
And now our driver has been instructed to go to the finish line, and we'll see if Meseret Defar can use that very famous finishing kick to hold off the very impressive Caroline Kipkarui from Kenya, who are 1-2 in the final stages of the 31st Carlsbad 5000. No matter how it comes out, Matt, you have to be impressed by Caroline Kipkarui, who's kind of making a statement, staying with the world record holder this long and this impressively.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how she reacts to having some company with Meseret. But as I say, Meseret's one of the best closers in the game. You would expect her to go on and win it from here, but I'm sure she's surprised she's still got company this late in the race.
Well, and traditionally, if you take a look at the great rivalry between the 2 East African nations of Ethiopia and Kenya, the Kenyans are not known for their finishing kicks, where the Ethiopians are world famous in everyone's book for being the best of the kickers. And Meseret, among the Ethiopians, maybe the best of the best.
That's correct, and it's often the other way around. It's the Ethiopian sitting on the Kenyan shoulder. We've got a bit of a reverse at this juncture, but we're just heading down to the finish chute now. In a couple of minutes, we'll see them coming with 200 meters to go. If the side-by-sides, the smart money would be on Meseret, but we'll wait and see as we just had a little tumble in the back of the press truck right here.
This is the danger, something in the hard braking
road racing
driver as we go flying backwards. I don't know how they work this insurance-wise.
Oh, hey, what insurance?
But look at the Ethiopian flags lining that. We'll stay up here for this race call. And throughout the race, it's been Meseret Defar taking over from our pacer, Viola Lagat.
And we look as though we have an Ethiopian contingent fan club down here as well, which is nice to see.
Every race you go to, there's a great Ethiopian community, and it's no different here in Carlsbad. It's 14:14 on the clock right now. It's several hundred meters from Carlsbad Boulevard down Carlsbad Village Drive to the finish line.
So they just come into view here, and they're still side by side. We can't quite see from our vantage points who's just got the lead here.
And the crowds are thick at the finish line, and the athletes are tiny. Last year, Gidzebi Dababa went 14:48. 2 years ago, Julia Blaisdell from the UK went 15:06.
Meseret Defar's opened the gap. Yeah.
Kicked it into that special gear that she's got and hits the line just under 15 minutes. 14:58 unofficially, 15:02 by the impressive Caroline Kipkarui. Susan Kijken from the Netherlands was in third place in the final stages of the race. And they're dancing in the streets here in Carlsbad. The Ethiopians celebrating the victory of Meseret Defar. Here comes Susan Kijken, 15:24. Diane Nakuri from Burundi is going to come in fourth place.
That's the Burundian record, I think.
15:33, another national record. Sarah Lockett coming in. 15:48 is the world record. Jen Rhines is right. 47, 48, 49.
She missed it by a second.
Missed it by 1 second, and John Laguerre's $3,000 bonus going by the way. But a great race by Jen. Mezzy, congratulations on your fourth Carlsbad victory. Tell me about coming back to Carlsbad for you. What does it mean to come back to Carlsbad?
Yes, I'm very happy to come back Carlsbad. This is my fourth time win. I'm so happy to be here because this is my best place to run because I have world record in Carlsbad. I'm so happy to be here.
Tell me about the race. Young Caroline Kipkarui from Kenya, you had a gap and that you closed that gap. Were you aware that she was close?
Yes, I won't try to the best time today, but I can to break the world record. But the Kenyan girl, she's follow me and little bit scared because maybe if she behind and she go, and I will little bit wait and I saw her little bit tired. I push again and she's left. I'm going to win.
Now this is your first year back competing for a long time after your daughter was born. You've had very good success at World Indoors and back in Boston, another one of your favorite places to run. How does this set you up to defend your gold medal in Rio this summer?
This race is very important for me for Rio because I ran 2 years ago. I had a baby. After that, after 2 years, this is my third race, two indoors, one road race. After this, I'm going to for Diamond Leagues. This is helping me for Olympic.
Well, the best of luck. It's great to see you back in Carlsbad, and all the best of luck going forward to Rio.
Thank you very much.
I'm a Siganala.
You know you'll be there. How did you start?
We have our champions, our women's podium.
There you've got Ethiopia, Kenya, and the Netherlands.